We don't want to miss the forest for the trees. And we've been talking about how trees are signposts. They point us to a bigger spiritual reality. All right, let's dig in. So the last time we read about the tree of life was in the Garden of Eden there in Genesis. And the tree of life, if you remember, was put in the middle of the garden. That's in Genesis 2. So then Adam and Eve, they sin and they're cast out of the garden. And so this symbolizes their separation from God. They couldn't be in a relationship with God and they couldn't be in his presence because of sin. So then we fast forward to the book of the Revelation, and in Revelation 2, suddenly a tree pops up. We read, "To the one who is victorious, I will give the right to eat," remember that, eat, "from the tree of life, which is in the paradise of God," which is in heaven. And so Adam and Eve couldn't eat of the tree of life. They had already eaten of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And so God makes them leave the garden. So let's put this in context. Revelation 2, and there's another passage in Revelation we're going to hit in just a little bit. Revelation 2. First of all, these are the words of Jesus. He is saying this to John, but also to us. This specific scripture is to the church in Ephesus. And Jesus says that if they do all of these first things, good deeds, hard work, all that stuff, and they remember their first love, then they will be, I think it's saying, victorious. To the one who is victorious, I will give the right to eat from the tree of life. So then later, we jump to Revelation 22. Longer passage. "Then the angel showed me the river of the water of life as clear as crystal." Amazing. "Flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb down the middle of the great street of the city." Now, in context, the New Jerusalem has just come down from heaven. And so we're reading a description of the renewed Eden. "On either side of the river stood the tree of life, bearing crops, a crop of fruit, yielding its fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. No longer will there be any curse." Jumping forward to verse 14, "Blessed are those who wash their robes, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may go through the gate into the city." So, like I said, this is the New Jerusalem, and these, again, are the words of Jesus. And he's telling us that he's going to be coming soon with rewards, that he is the beginning and the end of all history. On either side of the river of the water of life is a tree of life. And the tree of life yields fruit each month, and the leaves bring healing to the nations. It's amazing. We're not quite sure what this means. Was it one tree in the sort of in the middle with the river running through it like a giant sequoia? I don't know. Or was it like a pando tree, which covers acres and acres and shares a root system, but has all of these different trees popping up? I have no idea what it actually is. It's the tree of life. I've never seen it. But here's the thing. This is going back to a prophecy that we didn't talk about in Ezekiel. It says this: "Fruit trees of all kinds will grow on either bank of the river. Their leaves will not wither, nor will their fruit fall. Every month they will bear fruit, because the water from the sanctuary flows to them. Their fruit will serve for food, and their leaves for healing." Very similar to what we read in Revelation. Isn't that an amazing picture? I think it's phenomenal. God comes with healing, and healing is made available for all seasons. Life is available for all seasons, and God's offering that healing to the world. The tree of life represents this relationship with God and Jesus that we have again. And so what we're reading here is that the curse is being reversed. The curse is being reversed. Unlike what happened to Adam and Eve because of their sin, they experienced the curse, but now God has taken back the curse. There's no sin, and there is complete healing. All of those things, receding hairlines, healed. Not being able to see, healed. Cancer, healed. Death, healed. All of our diseases are healed here at the tree of life. So for us as Christians, I think it gives us hope. Hope for the future that we have with God in heaven. As we see the tree of life, we drink the waters of life, we eat the leaves, and we are healed.